Hey guys, Dark Gray back at it again to bring you my Blind Go Second Nekroz deck profile. Now, I will apologize, I'm using a new stand rather than the broken selfie stick I've been using up till now, so there may be a little bit of glare in this video as I try to figure out the lighting for our new situation, but hopefully you can all still enjoy the video I'm about to bring you. So previously, I brought you a deck profile on a Go First variant of Nekroz, but there's just something about a Go Second build for Nekroz that feels so right. By going second, you're able to fully utilize all the effects of the Nekroz monsters rather than use them as some sort of engine to set up a board going first. The best thing is with all the strong Go Second cards in the format is you can really push through your opponent's boards and establish your own with locks like Unicorn here, who is now at 3. Now, I'll also admit I had some issues in trying to make this Go Second variant of the deck, as I knew the synergy and power was there for a Go Second Nekroz, as they all have such great effects to dismantle our opponent's boards. However, I felt like in the process of doing it, my ritual engine itself was being hurt. I had cut all the incantations, things like that. I was trying to slim it down and keep it at 40 cards. However, I came to the conclusion of a 50 card Go Second deck for Nekroz for not only the power but also the consistency going forward with the deck. As we jump into it, it is a 50 card deck with 13 pure Go Second cards. Now, I did do the calculations for this in a hypergeometric calculator, which I will post here. And the odds of us opening one of our Go Second cards to help us break boards is 35.66% of one card in our opening 6 card hand, or 85.3% of opening one or more of our Go Second cards to help us break boards and establish our own. It also means we have a 32% chance of opening exactly 2 of our Go Second cards in our opening hand, and a 46.7% of opening 2 or more of our Go Second cards in our opening 6 card hand going second, which means almost every single game you're guaranteed to open at least one of your board breaking cards, and in addition to that, at least half of your games you'll open at least 2 or more, which can be really huge in this current format with decks like Adamancipators and Eldritch running around, which generally need more than 1 or 2 disruptions or power cards going second to be able to break their boards. Starting off for the main deck, we play our 3 Nekroz of Unicorn, again newly unlimited on the most recent ban list. Now, he is not going to be quite as important for a Go Second variant of the deck, but he still plays a huge role in not only the consistency, but also the ability for us to set up a lock on our opponent's extra deck monster effects. This way, not only do we destroy their boards, but we also inhibit their ability to get back into the game with locks like Unicorn. One card that has a huge boon in the Go Second deck is going to be our 3 Nekroz of Brionic, or Brianac, however you want to say it. Because not only has he been important as the main searcher for the deck to grab any of the Nekroz monsters, but now we can utilize his amazing effect, which is that he can target up to 2 monsters on the field that were special summoned from the extra deck and shuffle them back into the deck. This is just huge for clearing big monsters that our opponents have, and again, just breaking those boards going second. Another huge monster going forward for us is going to be 3 Nekroz of Trishula this time. We upped his count from 2 from the previous build to 3 now, because as a going second build, he is almost always live for his ability to banish 3 cards, 1 from our opponent's hand, field, and graveyard, and plus the targeting protection doesn't hurt at all either. Then, for the rest of the Nekroz ritual monsters, we play our 2 Nekroz Clausulus again, just 2, as he is still very searchable throughout the deck, but he does have an amazing effect on field, which allows us as a quick effect to target 1 face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, and until the end of this turn, that target's attack becomes 0 and its effects are negated. So again, just another great card going second to turn off monster effects and to beat over any problematic monsters our opponents may have, while also being an additional way to lock out our opponent after we break their boards. Setting up with things like Clausulus on board can really hurt any kind of recursion that our opponent may have after the fact. Then lastly, for Nekroz ritual monsters, we play the 2 Nekroz of Valkyrus, again just as another great card to search at the end of breaking our opponent's board and setting up our own locks to stop any kind of comeback our opponent may try to do by negating attacks in the battle phase, or even if we wanted, we could summon him out and tribute off some of the other monsters that we play, like incantations, to enable some more draws. Then lastly, for the Nekroz monsters, we have 2 Shurit Strategists of the Nekroz. Again, you only need to play 2 as you can search him out, but he does enable some really good plays to get out all of our other Nekroz ritual monsters and also search a warrior Nekroz ritual monster. For the rest of the monsters that we play in the main deck, we have our 2 Incantation Talismandra. We also have our 2 Incantation Candle, and we play 1 Incantation Pencil Plume and 1 Incantation Bookstone, just to make sure that we have enough names for our incantation engine and to keep everything going. Then finally, for incantations, we do play the 3 Incantation Chalice Slime, as it is just an amazing searcher for the deck to summon out any of our other incantations, and just plus very hard for our searches. Not only with that, but incantations are a great way to go ahead and bait negate when we are going second and trying to break our opponent's board, which can be extremely helpful. Not only that, but Incantation Chalice Slime even has a great on-field effect where you can send 1 incantation card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard and target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Now, it doesn't come up very often, but it is just a helpful thing to remember when you're in those kind of situations. And then lastly, for our monsters in the main deck, we play 3 Lava Golem. Now, this is huge because he's our only normal summon in the deck, and is extremely helpful when breaking boards. Now, I went with Lava Golem in the main deck instead of Sphere mode because I feel like sometimes those combo variations of Eldritch only really end on the Borreload Savage Dragon and the Herald of the Arclight, which means you only have 2 monsters to tribute, and sometimes in other situations, it's just better to have the 2 monsters to get rid of than banking off your opponent going off and having the 3 monsters. Not only is Lava Golem amazing for going second and clearing some of our opponent's boards, but because of effects like Trishula, we have the ability to just go ahead and banish the Lava Golem when we summon Trishula anyways, so it's just easy way to plus and gain some removal for our opponent's cards. For our ritual spell cards, we play the full lineup of 2 Nekroz Kaleidoscope, 2 Nekroz Cycle, and also 2 Nekroz Mirror, in addition to the 1 Incantation Inception to allow us to go ahead and plus even more with our Incantation Chalice Slime, or to just be able to summon it out, or that pop effect that we mentioned earlier. Moving on from there, we do have 3 Preparation of Rites to search out any level 7 or lower ritual monster from our deck to our hand. Also, if we already have a ritual spell in the graveyard, we can add it to our hand, which is just an amazing plus on top of already being able to search out any of our important ritual monsters. Now, because we are using Lava Golem as our normal summon for this Go Second variant, I wanted something to replace the Manju of the 10,000 Hands, so instead of that, we are running our Extra Foolish Burial, because life points are really just a resource, and we want to make sure that we're able to get off those searches for the important cards that we may need, because by using this card, we can send things like Herald of the Arclight to be able to search any ritual monster or spell card. Since we are going second deck, as long as we break our opponent's board and set up our own, we don't really have to worry about the life point cost like we would maybe for going first, where people could go ahead and OTK us with all of their resources. But going into turn 3, usually they're pretty low on resources from what we've done to them and breaking their boards, so it is definitely something you don't have to worry about as much. Then, like cards like Solemn Judgment, because it does pay half your life points, it really is live all throughout the game if you happen to draw this going into some kind of grind game to still be able to establish resources or send other things like our Elder Entity in TIS to be able to pop any cards that may be causing you any issues. Again, it's just another great way to be able to search out or do any kind of utility that we might need without using up our normal summon. Then, besides the Lava Golem, for our going second cards in this Go Second variant of the deck, we play 3 Dark Ruler No More. Now, this has amazing synergy with the deck, as we are generally not going to OTK our opponent anyways. We're just using effects like Nekroz of Brionac and Nekroz of Trishula to break our opponent's board, and then set up our own locks like Nekroz of Unicorn or Clausulus. So using this card just enables us to break through any kind of combo board and has amazing synergy with the deck. Then we play 3 Lightning Storm. Now you'll have to forgive me, I only was able to pick up 2 as of right now, so we're just using this kind of as a proxy for us with the Twins Twisters. But again, another amazing card for going second to be able to go ahead and break our opponent's boards by destroying any attack position monsters our opponent may control, or all of their spell and trap cards. Just another great utility card for us going second. Then for additional utility and proxies, now these are going to be stand-ins for Evenly Match. As we discussed with our Dark Ruler No More, we do not really need our battle phase when we're going to go ahead and break our opponent's boards going second, just to be able to set up our own locks. So cards like Evenly Match are huge, especially for those back row matchups, which can be more difficult for us, honestly, since a lot of our effects are for extra deck monsters and turning them off or getting rid of them, so it can be important to remember that. Then lastly, for the main deck, we play the 1 red reboot, as with all the Eldritch variants running around, and things like Ultrageist being released on the same ban list, they'll definitely be more prevalent, and I do like this 1 copy just to take care of any problems that we may face. Now, moving on to the extra deck, we do have some changes as we do not run as an extensive rank 4 engine as before, since we only have Unicore for them. So some things that have changed are we are now running 3 Herald of the Arclight. Because we're running things like Extra Foolish Burial, we are able to utilize more of these Kaleidoscope targets like Herald of the Arclight to be able to grab a search for a ritual monster or a spell card. Also, we bumped up our count of Elder Entity Intis, just again for the same reasons. And for our other Kaleidoscope targets, we have the 1 Brionic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, again just for the Brionic or Brionac that we have in the main deck. Then we have Psyframe Lord Omega for those 2 Unicores if we ever need them. Also, the 1 level 9 with Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, 1 Chimera Mega Fleet Dragon for a level 10, which also enables some shenanigans with our Cyber Dragon matchups. Then a level 11 with Star Eater, and our level 12 5-headed Dragon. Now, the only 2 rank 4s that we play in the extra deck are going to be number 60, Dugares the Timeless, and Daigusto Emerald. Just because since we only really have the level 4s of Nekroz of Unicore in the deck, we want to make sure we have some sort of resource management if we have to use our Unicores for a rank 4. So cards like Dugares and Daigusto Emerald are great in that aspect, as we can use either of them really to gain some more resources by drawing cards and recycling some materials. So they're just great additions in the extra deck for rank 4s. And then lastly, I still have the 1 Nephthys the Sacred Flame. Again, if you're just able to get it out on the field, it can be a huge thing for people to deal with. Just a 4800 monster that can't be targeted or destroyed by battle or card effects is extremely problematic for people to get rid of. So if it ever hits the board, it is just really an amazing pseudo boss monster for the deck. Now a quick run through the side deck. We play our 1 Cyber Angel Benton and the 1 Vanities Ruler. Just for when we have to go first, it's an easy engine for us to include in the deck and put a lock on special summoning monsters for our opponent. Then for those more back row heavy matchups, we have the 3 Denko Sekka to swap out with those Lava Golems for our normal summon. For more back row hate, we also have 3 Cosmic Cyclone to take care of any problematic issues. And then as a card for going first again, to help out, we have some Solemn Judgment. Again, just another amazing card when we're first to go first, and we can just kind of side into those options, which really puts our opponent into a difficult position because we have such an amazing board breaking ability in this deck, but also with cards like Unicore and Clausulus, and being able to put in cards like the Vanity Ruler and Cyber Angel Benton. It makes extremely powerful going first locks on our opponent's ability to special summon monsters, and with their extra deck monster effects, that again puts them in a really difficult spot to allow us to go either first or second. And then lastly, we play 3 Forbidden Chalice. Now, these could be infinite impermanence if you wanted instead. It's just another great card for going first or second, kind of setting up some more extra negates and take care of any problematic monsters. So everyone, that's going to do it for my Go Second Nekroz deck profile. What are your thoughts on builds that go above 40 cards? Do you think that that just hinders consistency too much and you should really cut it down? Or do you think it's okay to go over that 40 card minimum as long as you play enough consistency cards or power cards? What about the inclusion of the Go Second cards that I had in the build? Do you think there are some better options, or how would you go ahead and change these things? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm really glad that I was able to work this out for all of you, and I've really enjoyed this new build, and I really think it's been performing quite well in my own testing, so I really encourage you to go out and test your own and let me know how it works out for you. With that being said, I hope you're all staying safe out there and have a great time. Peace.